Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to this week's Commitments of Traders review. Today we're going to have a look at the first COT report in 2014, and as usual we're going to start off with the changes in commercials positions. So here we go. Soybeans is on top of our list. We have a 21% change in commercials positions, 20% change in large speculators. You can see the changes over here. They're much larger than average. And let's have a look at the previous large changes in the past. Here we have similarly large changes preceding this rally over here. Then we have another great example. Actually, we have a few good examples that suggest these COT change signals in soybeans can be very reliable signals. Let's move on and have a look at the 5-year chart. Here we go, where we can look at the COT Extreme. As you can see, we can't really talk about a large extreme in soybeans right now. The last major extreme, or close to a significantly large extreme, was over here, which was a bullish type COT Extreme. Actually, back in 2011, the end of 2011, where we had this beautiful large extreme when commercials went above the zero line, became net long. That was a very nice bullish type COT extreme signal. And of course we had this beautiful bearish extreme over here that was followed by this decline that we're witnessing right now as well. So we're more or less in between these extremes, so can't tell too much from these. Maybe small speculators can be a little bit helpful and suggesting that this is more of a, of course, bullish picture that we have. If you look back at this point in time that I was mentioning to you how good of a COT extreme signal it was, small speculators were actually at very similar levels as they are right now. But let's move on and have a look at Palladium. We have actually the same change size as we had in soybeans. Here we go. But as you can see, the change isn't that visible or that much larger than average. Of course, this is a bearish COT change signal, and we should expect some kind of a price reaction downwards, of course. Opening a 5-year chart, let's have a look at the extreme in Palladium. As you can see, we again, similarly to soybeans, we don't have a real significant COT extreme right now in this market. Moving on to Dow Jones, we have an 18% change in commercials positions, a much greater change in large speculators, 27% change, as you can see. Although looking at the chart, these changes seem to be very similar sizes. Of course, it's a bearish COT change signal, and as you can see, prices may actually head downwards. This is suggesting they should. Of course, opening a 5-year chart, we're going to have a look at the extreme, which is pretty far away from very bearish extreme levels. That would be somewhere over here. This point in time, we had a very significant COT extreme pointing downwards. You can see there was a price reaction, but very short-living one. So very interesting situation we have actually in indexes, because as the rally continues, we're not really seeing the COT extreme getting any larger. Moving on to large speculator COT extreme. Here we go. Life cattle is on top of our list, and as you can see, we've got an all-time COT extreme signal this week in life cattle commercials. So let's open a live cattle chart, and of course a 5-year chart right away. Here we go. You can see this beautiful large extreme just widening, and of course we are expecting a price reaction downwards. Of course, this is a bearish COT extreme, and as you can see on this 5-year chart, we have some pretty decent examples when the extreme was wide and prices reacted to this COT signal. So you can see the extreme widening, and as it does, the stress level in live cattle is just building up, and eventually we're expecting this bubble to burst and then prices to fall. Copper, let's move on to copper. We have a 46 report extreme over there. Number wise doesn't seem to be that large, but hey, let's have a look at the 5-year chart and see this extreme on a wider scale. Here we go. You can see, even though it's only a 46 report extreme, visibly on these COT graphs, you can see that actually it's a reasonable COT extreme. That's worth mentioning. You can see that we don't have to have a all-time or close to all-time extreme to really get a good signal. You can see back over here when we had this relatively large extreme in the market that pushed prices lower. And of course, these examples I'm showing you are all very good examples that these even relatively large extremes have the power to change the trend a bit. So this is suggesting that this rally is going to end soon, and we may see prices declining. Of course, it would be more obvious if we had an all-time huge large extreme, but of course, as you can see on these charts, we don't necessarily have to reach these all-time extremes to see a price reaction or a change in the trend. Let's move on and have a look at the coffee market. We have a 32 report extreme over there. And let's open a 5-year chart right away. Here we go. So you can see the extreme is not that large. Although if you look at this past 2 to 3 years range, you can see that basically commercials were bouncing off the zero line, and then whenever they got close to one, here I'm just showing you a few examples. It's difficult to see, but they are sort of tops that are visible. This may be a relative extreme, and if commercials start moving back towards greater net long levels, that would be that may push prices back down. Of course, depends how you look at it. This was over here a very large bullish COT extreme, and it may be maybe in a few months time we're going to see that this was actually a bottom in prices, and in that case this will be considered the COT extreme that pushed prices back up into a huge rally mode. So but it's up to you to decide which one you favor. We may as well say that this rally has been going on for some time, and the odds are high that this was the basically the bottom in prices. Okay, that's going to be all for this week. If you would like to have a look at other COT charts, you can do so at our COT charts page. If you would like to have a more in-depth and detailed COT analysis, well, check out our COT analysis page. You can add other great functions to our table: the long-term trend, volume and open interest scores, the COT index, look at new COT report types, CIT, TIF, disaggregated, of course, other data types as well. You can use our highlights page, and there's a lot of great other tools on our page that should be checked out. So I hope you enjoyed my review, and I hope to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.